What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sequence. We're here with Mitch Garver for at bat number 2. This one is in Toronto against Aaron Sanchez, and I like this because I have faced Aaron Sanchez, so I know what it looks like to be in the box against him. Why is this at bat kind of not special to you, but one that you go back and look at?
So this was early in the year. This was my 7th home run of the year, and at this point, we had just come from New York. I homered off J.A. Happ to the opposite field there. And my swing, you know how swings change throughout the year, man. Like sometimes things feel good, sometimes they feel bad. And this is when my swing was feeling really, really good. I was fresh out of camp. You'll see my hands are in a little bit different position as they were as the year progressed. My hands are a little bit higher. My shoulders are a little bit more level and balanced, and it just looks like I'm hitting against a super firm side on this clip, and I like this home run because I can go back to it and I think about the process that I went through to get to the 3-1 count, and the process that I went through right before that pitch was thrown, where every part of my swing was broken down into a way where I'm like, all right, this is what I'm going to do here. This is where I'm going to make contact. This is where I want my hands to go. And I'm going to basically sell out on a pitch. Like the whole point of hitting is to get to a count where you can sell out on a pitch and do damage. You're not up there guessing, you're going through a process to get to a spot where the advantage is on your side. And this is the great example of that.
There's nothing better than that when you get to a count and you've seen 2 or 3 pitches, different pitches that he has, and you're like, I know exactly what you're throwing, and you better execute it, because if you don't throw it where you want to throw it, I'm going to do damage on it. It's
right.
A great feeling. You want to have that as much as possible, but unfortunately, it doesn't happen, or at least for me, it didn't happen as much as I thought. But let's get to this at bat. But I do want to. You said you're slightly different here in your setup. Is that something that you are okay with doing throughout the year? Or are you a guy that likes to have things like the same, like try to repeat as much as possible? Are you okay with tinkering a little bit here and there with your setup?
I'm okay with tinkering. And when I say hands were different, like throughout the year, my hands, when I got to a launch position, were just a little bit lower. Here you'll see my hands are higher. It's almost like they're up by my ear, and that, I can get to a high pitch a little bit easier that way. But yeah, as the year progressed, it's like my hands got a little bit lower and a little bit lower, but I was still making good passes at the ball. I was still getting the ball in the air. But yeah, when I go back and look at this at bat and I can freeze it from the side angle, like I get to my launch position, and that's the most perfect position I could be in.
I watched this at bat, and this is a rocket. So let's start it up and kind of see. We got Eddie right here, my guy. All right. Oh, there we go. All right, first pitch, again, probably fastball away, and he just yanks it. That is an excellent pitch when you're a hitter. You're like, thank you for that.
All right, cool. 1-0. Let's go.
Yeah.
And so I faced him in spring training this year, or in 2019, and we were in Dunedin, and dude, that mound feels like it's right on top of you.
Yes, it does.
And he threw me like 5 breaking balls in one at bat, and I was like, all right, well, I can't even see the breaking ball, so I'm not going to hit it. So I'm just going to look for the heater.
Yeah. So yeah, what he features is he's got the 2-seamer, he's got some velo, he's got a big kind of like a slurvy curveball,
yep,
and a changeup. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so 1-0 here. You're probably still looking heater here.
Yep.
Probably he wants a double play ball.
100%.
Coming inside, it's a good pitch.
Really good pitch. I'm not going to swing at that.
Really good pitch. No, that's exactly what he wanted. He went away. Now he wanted to come back in, see if he can get you to roll something over.
But, I think a lot of pitchers right there, like they're looking for a reaction, right? They're looking to see how you react to that pitch. Did your hands come outside of your body? Did you flinch? Did you back off the plate? Like, did you see that pitch come close to you and you're like, whoa, I don't want to get hit by that? Or did you just stone face it? You're just like, nah, I don't want that anyways. Well, so there are a lot of them are looking for reactions like that.
And as a catcher, I'm sure you do too. The 2 at-bats now that we've watched, you've had those pitches that are up. One was away last at-bat. This one was a little up and in, and you're not flinching. And that's a sign of, like, when you're feeling good at the plate, you watch a person take a ball And if they're they take it and there's not a huge reaction like you said, or they're stoic with it, you know they're locked in.
Right.
So here you are 1-1, and this is a huge count for hitters. If you can work the count to 2-1, it's obviously much better than getting to 1-2. So this is a big count for both the hitter and the pitcher. You're locked in. All right. Setting up in again, huh? That's a nasty pitch, man. It's not an easy pitch to lay off. Even though on TV that looks like it's a ball all the way. It's not as easy as it looks.
He has so much lateral run where a lot of guys have, vertical sink. Mm-hmm. His ball runs side to side so much that you have to see a starting point for where you want the ball to start. If it doesn't start there, it has to be a ball.
It seems like your swing is kind of fit for these guys with that lateral run. Coming back in, I think that your path lines up great for that. I mean, clearly your path works for a lot of pitchers, but the two that we've seen here kind of have that similar. Like you said, it's more lateral. It's not as much of a sink arm side.
Sure.
So now 2-1.
Huge.
You're looking to drive right here. Looking to drive the ball.
Eddie's covering his helmet side with his hand. Come on, Eddie.
That's perfect for him. You guys have my favorite outfield in baseball too. I love Kepler, Eddie, and Bucks. I mean, and Jake.
Super talented. Yeah. Jake Cave.
Yeah. So 2-1 here, and he's coming back.
Missing arm side again.
A little bit more of a flinch there.
Yeah. Now I'm like, all right. I don't care where the fastball is. I know where it has to start for it to be a strike, for me to drive the ball. I don't think he can dot the outside corner here, which is what he tries to do. But like I said before, I'm still sitting arm side up against a guy like that. He has the tendency to miss that way. Mm-hmm. I could look middle and react to anything in, or I could look outer half and hit anything middle.
Yeah, if he dots up that outside corner and he backdoors it, okay. So what?
I'm not going to swing. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah. So your decision right now in your head, you're like, okay, where's my line of sight? Do I want to set it on the outside corner and hit something middle, or do I want to set it middle and turn on a pitch in?
Exactly.
So you went with?
I'm sitting outer half.
And you want to get that pitch middle. Okay.
Yes.
You're in Toronto. Those balls go in Toronto, baby.
I like hitting in Toronto, yeah.
I think most people would say that.
Yeah. So here I am. I'm going through my process, man. I know exactly where I need the ball to start. I look down at the dirt. I'm like, all right, I need to make contact right there.
And, you got the exact pitch you were looking for.
Yeah.
And you put it in the second deck. We're going to go back on that one. And you leaned on it.
Everything came together right there,
man. One more time. We'll get to the slow-mo. I got to see this again. Look at this lean back. That's beautiful, man. It really is. It really is.
That is a beautiful thing right there. I told you, man. That was my best swing of the year. Right there.
It doesn't get any better than that. I mean, you got to 3-1. You got the pitch you wanted. You got the location you wanted. You put the swing on it that you wanted, and obviously the result happened.
Yeah.
We need some slow-mo on that, because that's just straight up hitting porn right there. On time. You've seen him enough. Seen enough fastballs at a bat. You were definitely going to be on time. Oh, my goodness. I love that angle. All right, we got to go back there.
Yeah. And I like talking about like my back foot here, because I'm not going to rotate as much on it. Like it's almost going to be, you see what George Springer does with his ankles, right? Like he hits balls out of Minute Maid Park, and it's like his back foot never moves. It stays flat on the ground. I think the smaller that I keep that back leg, it's still going to explode really hard, but it keeps me from over rotating.
Sure.
It's almost like I'm pushing off, the inside part of my foot on the ball of my foot, and I'm just driving my knee straight down, and that's going to create all the power you need. I don't think you need to rotate completely over your foot.
Yeah, that's something that's a kind of a new way of thinking with it. I mean, I I've been through the gamut with the hitting coaches, man. Old school hitting
Yeah,
coaches with the, foot down early. Yeah, get into your legs, and they were trying to get me to rotate your back foot a ton. And then I went, to more of a new age guy in Craig Wallenbrock, who's kind of one of the godfathers of the swing revolution, if you will. And that's one of the things he taught. You got your weight kind of like back up into your hip, like coiled. And then you don't need to rotate. You don't want to rotate because it's going to get you out of your path.
right.
And yeah, you did everything perfect right there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is, for everyone that's watching, this is one of the best right-hand swings in the game. A guy who, we talked about this a little bit on the last at bat, but, all your stats are there. 93 games, though. And your counting stats were still there. Your 2019 season was incredible. I'm upset there's no baseball. I want to be watching 2020 Mitch Garver right now. But when the game does come back, I think a lot of people. I mean, you're no secret anymore, buddy.
I know it.
Do you think that's gonna be different for you? I mean, do you think there's gonna be a book out on you, more of a book? The chess match begins now, right? Did you see it happen already last year, 2019?
It begun in November. Yeah, the chess match began then. Actually, when we'd go play certain teams that are really into the scouting reports and analytics, who live and die off of it, you see it a lot more often. And that was the case when we played Cleveland the second half of the year. They know I was hitting fastballs really, really well, and they wouldn't give in. If it got to a 3-1 count or even a 3-0 count, they're still going to throw a breaking ball or something that moves away from me. Because if they walk me, then they'll just take their chances on the next guy.
Yes.
So that's one way to look at it. They just never gave in. They stopped throwing me fastballs, and that was okay. But
that's frustrating when that happens.
It's frustrating, but at the same time, I mean, look at our lineup. Like, you're going to take your chance with the next guy. Who knows what the next guy is? The next guy probably has 20 home runs also.
Yes.
It's a dangerous game to play.
That helps a lot when you have people around you, for sure.
Oh, definitely.
But you still have to be disciplined. When you're feeling good, you were feeling good the entire season last year. When you're feeling that good, and then you have to be disciplined and not, understand the 3-1, you're not going to get a cookie. It's very hard to do that, but it does make it easier when I got Sano hitting behind me, or I got, Kep or whoever's hitting behind you. I mean, it makes it easier to be disciplined because your team's going to benefit from it. But
yeah. And you have to be really picky about what you want to hit.
Yes. And it seems like you are. I mean, you're very detail oriented. You have a plan. You execute your plan. And like I said, you don't have a secret because you just work hard and you study and you understand the game. That's your secret.
Yeah. And that's just the key to the game, right? Like playing that chess match, guys are going to throw you what they think they can get you out with, and you have to adjust. And then when you do adjust, they have to adjust back, and that's the cat and mouse game, and everybody's been through it. It's as old as time, dude.
Do you think that you have a distinct advantage being a catcher with that cat and mouse game?
Yeah, I've scouted myself. I have. Yeah. I went to my analytics department and we went over, how would I pitch myself, and that's how you get out in front of the curve. What would I throw with the pitcher that's on the mound? And I get to certain counts or certain situations, like, am I willing to risk getting beat on a certain pitch, or am I just gonna, keep attacking the zone with the pitcher's best stuff? So it is kind of interesting when you look at it that way.
It is. I mean, I really, really appreciate you letting us get into your head a little bit, because this is pretty eye-opening, and whoever's watching this I know they're pleased right now, because this is the stuff. I put out yesterday about hitting Twitter and just how polarizing it is. You have the old guys that don't want to talk about anything new. You have the new age guys that don't want to talk about anything old. But I think the truth is there's something in the middle there. You have to be able to make adjustments. You can't always try to have the same swing every single at bat. You have to be able to read pitchers and understand, where they're at in the game, and you have to watch before the at bat. I mean, there's so many things. Like, hitting is so in depth. It's not just getting up there and seeing the ball, hitting the ball. It's not like that.
Right. So. And it's so hard, man. I mean, you watch highlights at night, and hitting looks super easy, right? Because all they're showing is home runs or driven balls or runs scored.
Yeah.
and you're not really getting to see, unless you watch a full game, you're not getting to see those broken bats, the jam shots, the double plays, the stuff like that, and everybody's battling just to try to get some barrel on the ball, and the ones who do it more consistently are the ones who
Yeah.
make those highlight reels. So I
We
think
saw you on a lot of highlight reels in 2019. A lot
it's
of
fun.
them.
It's fun being there for sure.
All right, I want to just keep going because I want to ask you one more question, and then I'm going to let you go. I've taken up a lot of your time. Tell the world what it feels like to be locked in like that, because not many people on this planet get the opportunity to do it. I probably, I could do a couple weeks at a time. I might have a really good month. I never had a full season where I felt like I was locked in. I think you did last year. Does that suffice to say?
Yeah, minus maybe a month.
Maybe a month.
Yeah.
Tell the world what it feels like.
It's pretty amazing, man. Everything's in slow motion. It feels like you can feel your breath when you're up there at bat, and if you can break it down to so much as seeing the seams on a baseball and just watching them come in, and the feeling of solid impact on a ball that goes out like that, man. There's nothing better. I compare it to like hitting that one golf shot during a round where you're just like, yes, I'm coming back to play golf tomorrow. And but doing that in a much bigger stage with people in the stands and they're all cheering, it feels like you're floating around second base, that's for sure.
Oh man, yes it does. Well, again, dude, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for your time, and whenever we do get to play baseball again, I'd love to have you back on, talk more hitting.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks, Mitch.